I get an email saying, you've made it through to the next part. What I do need though, my mate, is I do need a couple of photos to see your physique in its natural form, i.e. topless photos. What's cool, people? You're locked back into myself, Benjo, once again, people. Big up each and every one of you that has subscribed lately. I have now surpassed 50 subscribers, which means I can go live with you guys. So I'm going to plan to do that in the next week, right? I'm going to come up with some sort of format for it, something that we can kind of do and interact with. I'm thinking like, a bit of a banter Q&A sort of thing, just maybe even some live reactions or even some live gym sort of like sessions or whatever else. I don't know, anything, man. I pretty much game for anything, people, right? Also, saying that, pretty much game for anything, right? Here's me now. I told you, right, this channel is about me progressing and trying new things and moving forward and getting myself out of my comfort zone, right? So I thought, you know what? Got a bit of bad news, and I was like, what can I do to help raise a little bit of funds, right? And I thought, you know what? I've got a nice physique, I've got a nice physique. I'm not in bad nick for 40 years old, right? So I thought, you know what? Why don't I get into a little bit of fitness modelling? I know what you're thinking, right? It's too old for that, Ben, all right? I know, right? I know this now, right? Because I had the wool pulled over me, right? Completely, right? It's quite funny, actually. Ugh. I just feel like I'm just gullible, do you know what I mean? I'm just so gullible, man. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt until they give me the doubt. I need to learn to have a little bit of doubt sometimes, right? Because I thought, you know what? Let me Google fitness models, agencies and stuff, so I'm Googling a few, like a few are coming up on the sponsors, and I never go for the sponsors. The reason being is because I always think if it's sponsored, they're paid to be at the top. Whereas if it's just a natural occurring sort of top selection, then it's kind of found its way there organically. That's my thinking anyway. Could be completely wrong. But a few came up. I sent the credentials for a few, and the usual spiel, if we like you, we'll get back to you within 7 days or anything else, like that, blah, blah, blah. Sunday, I was chilling, and I get a phone call, and it comes up, ripped models, and I thought, oh, that's the agency, man. So I thought, buzzing, man, let's see what's going on here. So I answered. I'm on the phone for about 45 minutes to this guy. And, he's telling me about he likes my shots that I sent him initially. And initially what I'd sent him was just a headshot, a halfway shot, and a full length shot, clothed. That's important. So then now I'm at this stage of talking to him. He's like, listen, you've got a lot of potential, your tattoos and everything, you look like great, you look like a different niche market. There's a market for you now. I can promote you, if you're going to do bodybuilding shows as well, I can promote you and stuff, we can sponsor you and stuff like that, we're all for like going for it and all this. So he's giving me the whole spiel and that, like, he sounds like he's that excited and that, like, I'm a bit like, trying to not show excitement, but I'm a bit buzzing inside, really, I'm buzzing, like, it's a bit of a, it's like, no, my body's good enough, man, I've been working on these babies for a long time, man, do you know what I'm saying? So it's like time to pay it off for me. But, no, it wasn't meant to be. I get an email saying, you've made it through to the next part. What I do need though, my mate, is I do need a couple of photos to see your physique in its natural form, i.e. topless photos. And if you could also make sure that there was, no body hair. And you could also like maybe put a little bit of lotion on, trying to like, give it a bit of shimmer so we can understand what it's going to look like, on a shoot sort of setting, natural light, no editing, blah de blah, the rest of it. So my gullible ass did it, didn't I? Right? So spent 25 minutes shaving my chest. Do you know what I mean? I'm an idiot, man. 25 minutes shaving my chest. Then I've got to wait for it to calm down and that, do you know what I mean? So then I've got to wash and everything, like, do you know what I mean? So I'm washing, I'm waiting, everything, it's calmed down, everything is cool and that, do you know what I mean? Then I'm putting the baby oil on that. I took a few pictures and stuff like that, I took about 10 pictures and I was quite happy with them. I was thinking, the physique's come on really well actually, especially because I don't see my back that much, and I was like, well, my back's really come on. So I sent them, and to my devastation, later on I've come to find out that it's actually just a black company, and it's just going to be one of them ones where you say you made it, you're through to the next thing, you're probably going to have to pay this amount of fee to be able to go to the next part of the process, which is putting you on the profile and all that. My gullible ass, I ate it up, didn't I? I ate it up, I shaved my chest, baby oiled up, man, do you know what I mean? Proper Diddy-esque style, man, and I sent this guy that I don't know from Adam, even though his name's James. I got scammed, didn't I? So I didn't, and he's telling me about, I've got to go and get these photos now, I've got to go, and he's trying to tell me now, okay, the next part is to go into the gym, take some photos that are topless. He's like, yo, look, you need to be getting dead sweaty, get a pump on, dead sweaty, get dead gross and just get horrible and get dead gritty with it and just go for it and like have chains on you and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, right, this is, do you know what, the more I'm saying this, it's sounding more like some sort of erotic man sort of fetish this, do you know what I mean? So that was happened to me this week, guys. That happened to me on Easter Sunday, which was nice, you know, it was a lovely little pick-up, you know, short-lived little thing there, you know. Right, what else? Also, what I've noticed as well, since, this is mad, this is kind of mad this, to be honest with you, right? Ever since I started the gym, I've always had my tattoos. And I'll always get like a mixed reception of people. A lot of people either, I see them staring at me from afar, or they'll either just say something like, I like your tattoos, mate. That doesn't happen that often though, to be honest with you. People would much rather just stand from a distance and just sort of side-eye you, and when they catch you, they just but I see them looking, do you know what I mean? I know they look, do you know what I mean? And I don't care, I'm not asked about it, do you know what I mean? I'm not bothered whatsoever, but I don't know if my image gives off a perception of like, I'm a little bit like hard to talk to. I don't know if I look like as soft as I am, if that makes sense, do you know what I mean? I'm a nice guy, do you know what I mean? So if I'm in the gym and someone asks me for help or something, I will be buzzing to help that person. I'd be like, do you know what? In all fairness, they ask me because they can see the work that I put in. So that for me is an absolute positive, all right? So I take that as an absolute thank you. Do you know what I mean? So people don't approach me. People do not approach me, and then when I do get talking to them, they say, "Oh, do you know what? Actually, I thought you was maybe a little bit of a, you know, a bit of a dealer, like, do you know what I mean?" And all this, like, I'm like, what? It's mad what people think, to be honest with you. But ever since I've been taking my camera in the gym, like, kids have been coming up to me non-stop, asking me about this and that and the other, man. It's been crazy, man. It's been like, it's like they see you with a camera, and then they think, "Oh, this guy knows his it, man. He knows his it, man." Do you know what I mean? But reality, there's so many people with cameras in the gyms nowadays that could literally pervade to be looking like they know what they're talking about, put it across the internet, and these kids are so naive, just like me, to the modelling thing. Anyway, if anyone's got any modelling jobs for me out there, do you know what I mean? Got some guns, got a nice little six-pack going on. Go on, sunshine. Anyway, these kids, man, do you know what I mean? They're so naive that they buy into it, man, do you know what I mean? And wow, man, it's just crazy, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy how a camera can make someone think that that's something important. You know, like, no one's ever asked me nothing in the gym because, again, like I said, they don't approach me because they think maybe I just look a little bit hostile, or like I'm going to give them a bad time, or maybe I just look like a bad person, I don't know, but they don't ask me nothing. And ever since I had the camera, it's made me more approachable. I did something different today that I'd never normally do, which is go into the men's changing rooms and pose. I took the top off and pose. I never ever take my top off in the gym because it's, number one, it's just tacky. You know what I mean? Number two, it's against the rules. Number three, it's just cringe. And when there's other people there, like females and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? It can just get a little bit icky nowadays. Do you know what I mean? So I went to one part. They were doing a class where I usually do my posing. I always do a pose at the end of every session, right? Just so I get used to it and I can hold the poses for a set amount of time. I get used to the breathing. Then I went to the room upstairs. And there was two females there, they were in the mirror, and I just felt uncomfortable, do you know what I mean? I just felt uncomfortable. So I just went to the men's bathroom, to the toilet, changing room, even I'm making it sound worse. And I took my top off, right? Don't tell me why, just tell me why though, right? This is a thing, right? Why do all the older guys feel the need to walk from the changing room to the shower naked? Why can't they just put a towel around them? Like, why do they do that, man? I just don't get it. It's just weird, man. Oh, it's a proper weird thing to do, man. Yeah, getting back to the my Chippendale routine. So I took my top off and I started doing my poses. And I noticed a couple of kids are in the background, do you know what I mean? They're like, kind of like, they're like, between themselves and that, do you know what I mean? And I know that they're liking the physique that they can see, do you know what I mean? I know that. And I can see they're appreciating it. And I'd just rather them come up and say something, do you know what I mean? Like, ask a question, do you know what I mean? Rather than sitting in a corner and just like hustle between them, do you know what I mean? But anyway, this kid did come over to me and he said to me, "Excuse me, mate, can I ask you what your body percentage is?" Body fat percentage. And I'm like, what? Nobody's ever asked me that, ever. What is my body fat percentage? And I said to him about maybe like 15% or something. He's like, no, well lower than that. I'm 5%. Right, okay, so like, I didn't say anything to the kid, but I was like, thinking like 5% is like proper competition, like decomposing sort of, like, do you know what I mean? You're like inside out almost, do you know what I mean? There's nothing to you. You can't function on 5% daily, right? Do you know what I mean? But his kid seems to think he's at 5%. I'm astonished, I'm flabbergasted that these kids now, rather than, they're going from, it's like a weird subculture that's swinging from like going like Sam Sulek sort of big sort of like frame, sort of like muscular and manly and alpha, to like sort of now I'm going to a sort of like a Ken sort of physique from Barbie, do you know what I mean? Like now they're all about body fat percentages and stuff like that. And I said to him, I said, "How old are you, bro?" He's like 19. I'm like, wow. Thinking I made, you know what I mean? At such a young age to be worried about body percentage and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? I think, wow, do you know what I mean? All I cared about, to be honest with you, was just me starting the gym. All I cared about was just my mental health, to be honest with you. The rest of it was just a bonus. Everyone starts with their own different reasons. Mine was for my own mental health, because I'm not going to lie to you. I would have done something stupid and I wouldn't be here now to be able to tell this story, right? And my other story that I told prior to this about my life, my time, my crime, I wouldn't have been a man of my word to that. And I've got kids, you know what I mean? I've got kids, man. I've got 3 kids. So I've got to be a responsible, accountable adult, and the gym really saved me. So people, I do suggest, if you're having some sort of to-do in life, do you know what I mean? Some sort of wobble or whatever, you know what I mean? I do suggest just going to the gym, because even if it's for that 30 minutes you go, even if it's 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes out of that frame of mind where you're sat there seething and contemplating, the outcomes of life. So even if it just takes your mind away from that for like 20 minutes or something, again, it gives you time to reframe your mind, recuperate, reset, and reevaluate. Don't do anything in anger, people, alright? I know this has gone from a little bit of a vlog, from like a light-hearted to like now like dead serious, like, but whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, this is the thoughts and the ramblings of my inner self, right, people? So yeah, young'uns, man, don't worry about your body percentage. One thing you got to be comfortable with in bodybuilding, weightlifting, working out, training, whatever it is, your weight is going to go up and it is going to go down. I have been heavier, I've been lighter, but I'm happy in between all of them, because I do understand that they're all reoccurring stages throughout the process, okay? People, if you're not seeing any kind of progress, stick in there. Please hang in there, because you will. And like I always say, man, the race is not for the swift, and you will see results, all right? You just got to stick in there and keep at it, people, all right? Right, okay, touched on the guy that wanted to take my pictures and get me all baby oiled up. Touched on the gym with the young'uns, asking me different things and actually asking me for questions and stuff. When kids ask me about how does he film things, how does he go about putting it on YouTube, and I'm like, how old are you? He's like 17. I'm like, bro, man, you should know this stuff, man. You should know this stuff, bro, come on. If anybody is after any training advice, if anybody is after any sort of weightlifting programs and stuff, me personally, I'm not a nutrition guy. I'm good with my own nutrition. I can't provide or tell you what's good for you. It's a lot of trial and error with foods. Again, I would say, okay, let's prime example. Jack's Fit, I've been seeing a lot of lately, okay? So, and I'm thinking, right, okay, this kid has had like a year and a half in the gym, and his progress has been meager, but slight, and sometimes that's what you can expect. I do believe that he has jumped on some sort of MK677 now or whatever, which is an appetite builder sort of thing. It's a if you were in layman's terms, it's like a cheap man's sort of growth hormone, should we say? All right. Yeah, somebody like him, I would definitely say he needs to carb up a lot more. Me, myself, personally, I tried a high protein diet and it was good, but I noticed that my gains came from when I had a higher carbohydrate diet, okay? It doesn't work for everybody, but I was like jacked fit, sort of like physique, long. It wasn't long, actually, I was short, 5'8", man. What am I on about? Short and slim and thin. And I'll put a picture up now, actually, guys, so you can see what my physique was like when I started my journey 4 years ago. Now, I know what you're going to say, people. Yes, Benja, you look like you've had a little bit of assistance. Well, yes, people, I have 100%. If you want me to talk about my PED use, my anabolic use, my cycles, my experience, my knowledge, my ramblings, my understandings, and my findings, then I am more than happy to do a video on it. I'm completely transparent, people. I really do not mind educating to the best of my ability if I can, even at my misfortune, if that makes sense. All right, people, I want people to learn from this channel. I don't want it to be a lol cow channel. I want it to be something that people can actually come to and get information from and seek things from, okay? Right, so people, I think I've touched base on a couple of bits and bats there. I'll probably think of some more that I've forgot. I should write this stuff down, really. I might even do a daily vlog of this stuff, people, all right? If you want a little daily vlog, people, let me know, man. I can do a daily vlog, right? I don't know why I'm not doing it already. I should be doing it because it's content. Stay blessed, people. One love, peace, love, harmony, the rest of it. Benja out until next time, people. Boom.